Merab versus Henry Cejudo is probably a fight that I personally think is going and flying under the radar right now with all the fans and all the talk that's surrounding UFC 298. We might very well see the very last fight of Henry Cejudo because there is a high possibility that Merab sends this man into retirement. Now, is that something that I would like to see? We will get into that, but before we do, I would just appreciate if you guys like, subscribe, and consider leaving a comment under this video. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the discussion. So Merab versus Henry Cejudo is a fight that's obviously flying under the radar, but it's a very important fight, and I'll tell you why. Now, obviously, everybody's talking about Ilia Topuria versus Alexander Volkanovski, understandably so, because that's the biggest fight, and obviously they're fighting for the title. But the reason why Henry Cejudo and Merab is an important fight is because those are two big names for the incredibly deep division that is the bantamweight division. Now, Henry Cejudo is in a situation where it's kind of do or die right now, because if he beats Merab obviously is going to set him up for fighting for the title hopefully soon. But if he loses, that's probably going to be good enough reason for him to just pack his things and just set on and go into retirement. And, you know, he had a great career thus far. But if he loses this fight against Merab, that's it for him. And I'm pretty sure that he's already hinted at the fact that, you know, he would be too far behind the division to catch up now that he's 37 freaking years old. Obviously, Father Time is not on the side of Henry Cejudo, so Henry Cejudo absolutely needs to lock in on this fight. Easier said than done because Merab is on a 9-fight winning streak with some good names on that resume. Obviously, Merab is a fighter that has really high output in the octagon, but Henry Cejudo is no schmo. He's already been a champion before. He's wrestled in the Olympics, right? I'm pretty sure that Henry Cejudo is the more cerebral fighter between the two. And obviously, he's going to have a game plan to counter what we expect to see from Merab. But the main question is it going to be enough? Does Henry Cejudo still have it in him to compete against the best in the world now that arguably he isn't, you know, in his physical prime? But I honestly do feel like that question is going to be answered very early on. Obviously, with Merab being 33 years old right now, he is in his prime. And I do feel like Merab training with Aljamain Sterling is going to be a huge factor, because obviously Aljamain Sterling already prepared for Henry Cejudo. And even though they had a competitive fight, I feel like Aljamain Sterling is going to give Merab a lot of insight on what Henry Cejudo feels like in the octagon. I feel like the UFC is kind of hoping that Henry Cejudo wins this fight, because if they set up Henry Cejudo versus Sean O'Malley, given all the history they have with each other, is gonna be a huge fight. And I feel like that fight is obviously gonna resonate a lot more than Merab versus, you know, Sean O'Malley. Merab versus Henry is obviously going to be a very competitive fight, although I do believe that Merab right now has the slight advantage because he's already training with somebody that already beat Henry Cejudo. And given the fact that Merab is in his prime right now, physically, that might be a huge advantage also. But I'm curious to read what you guys have to say about this fight. What you guys think about this fight? Is this going to be Henry Cejudo's last fight? Do we see Merab send Henry Cejudo into retirement? Let me know down in the comment section below. As always, it's a pleasure talking to each and every single one of you guys, even the ones that leave these crazy, hateful comments. Man, you guys are my favorite. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.